Hey guys, you're now tuned into the Mr. and Mrs. Goodbread Show. I am your host, Mr. Goodbread, and today, guys, we are honored to have Red Pill Awareness on the channel with us. Red Pill Awareness, you already know.
You
Let
already
yourself
know.
let them know what you do.
All right, well, I'm Red Pill Awareness. I'm always bringing awareness about science, math, men, life, health, how things work, how personalities work with compatibilists in the reality that we live in the modern day. And on my Instagram, my YouTube page, I haven't been so big on it, but on my Instagram, I go in about opinionated what men and women want in today's times that we in, of how to approach the dating game, the love game, the sex game, and how to win in life, and how not to be a simp or a beta male, and how not to go back to sleep. So it goes all across the board, because I feel like if you're a really red pill person, your genuine heart will be on giving truth, reality, and how things work in our society, because we have all been socially engineered to think a certain way and a certain belief. And that belief
Mhm.
has been weakening all of us to think this is how things supposed to go. When really, in actuality, we all been brainwashed since we were little.
And this is my point. This is the issue I've been driving all week on social media, on Facebook. And
Yeah,
you know what I notice? The closer I get to the truth, the the more resistance and pushback I get from the women that benefit from the lie. And I
of
like
course.
it. I like getting them uncomfortable and hot and bothered. Because one thing else I notice is they like to then take their anger and their frustration out on the beta males and the
Of
simps.
course.
And guys, the gentlemen that love those women. Those are the gentlemen that put those women on pedestals in a proper delusion that they want to be in. But they
True.
treat them like crap.
True. Well, because when we look at social engineering, movies,
Mhm,
commercials, we look at a
mhm,
movie like Norbit. Norbit is a movie. If you've seen Norbit, his wife
mhm,
abused him the whole time in Norbit.
mhm,
Cleveland, the show, the cartoon, he was getting
mhm,
abused in there. But we look at certain shows like Homer, The Simpsons, and we see,
mhm. It was,
Gumball. The dads
um,
are slow.
it was them sitcoms, man. Them sitcoms. They
Yeah,
slowly injected them sitcoms through our television shows. Cause I can remember it. I can remember a different world, and I was
right.
like, I remember sitting there wondering, like, all right, the women that show shows women from that show was the start of this whole be like the man joint. They showed the women with the dressing just like the Wayne Wayne and you know
Yeah,
what I mean
yeah, yeah.
they had the pill, but they allowed them to be a little bit more free, and that's what's showing the pushing and the education of the black woman, the woman in our society. And then it went from there to shows like we always had the Cosbys, which showed
Right,
Bill going to work, and it showed
right.
Hillary going to work also, but she always remained the leader of that household task. She
Correct,
went
correct,
then she
correct.
never I never seen that woman come from work and talk about, oh, because I did 40 hours, I need you, Bill Cosby, to now go run me a
Right,
bath.
right.
When
It was the
I
ultimate family show. Yeah,
that never promoted to us as a little kid. It was promoted to I could go get a bag. My wife, the mommy could go get a bag, and they're gonna come back, and the dad is still a dad in the crib, and the mom is still a mom in the crib. That's what we grew
true.
up learning. Then it went, if it went left kind of. Then we got into the Martins, where
Right,
they're not kids, and it's just cool to just be single, not married, and
right,
this
right,
is
right.
what
Yeah,
they
because
how
they
they
did
get.
have a show called Living
I mean,
Single too.
got
Yeah,
you had Pam, that's the big mouth black woman character. And I mean, they had some issues when it came to that because if you ain't know, Gina was supposed to be Pam and Pam was supposed to be Gina when they was writing the script for that talk
right.
show.
True.
But politics as usual with the stereotype of the dark skinned sister in our community having to be the loudmouth, the rambunctious one, and
Right,
that's
right.
so it's a bunch of social programming
Social
through
engineering, man. And when you think about it, for years pushing that, it's really did a numbers job, because you see it play out in behavior. And when we see
yeah.
social media, we see the behaviors of it. We see people, doing the same thing, imitating, and then like I always say, because I'm in the theater and voiceover, art imitates, reality, and we seeing
Yes.
it play out. You
Right.
know, you
Right.
know, I'm saying, like I was telling my a guy today, we were building on red pill like information that
What's up?
why we got more. Yeah, why we got more guys that act more simpish? Not because they are putting hormones in the food and giving men more estrogen in food, but also a lot of guys get raised by moms where their moms was always jumping in the man's face or trying to chastise a guy, and so now a lot of these guys try that with each other, and it might not go left because you don't know if you're gonna catch a fair one or if God's gonna really give you, take your life. So that's another behavior, thing that's been planned. Instead of talk
See,
things out and be civil about stuff.
this is where the critical thinking has been removed. The critical
Right.
thinking removed, and this is great because this is what I've been on all week on Facebook. I've been getting them nauseous and sick with this very same topic all week. When you take a boy who is without a masculine energy in the house and you
Mm-hmm.
send him feminine energy. Feminine energy is always emotional, always worrying, and it's not a stab at women. This is what God naturally wanted you to do. Period.
All day. It's in your DNA.
Right. You know what I mean? So when you have a boy see his mom's busting her ass, boy, that
Right.
boy, without a masculine energy, that boy is going to see moms laugh, cry, all of the emotions of moms. And that boy is
Right.
going to get used to catering and to making moms comfortable. This is why beta males can't, for the life of them, tell the truth to women because they're so used to, you don't want to break mom's heart telling her the truth. You know better than to go tell moms, your
Mm-hmm.
moms, the truth.
Yeah.
I don't care what she says. She says, shut the fuck up. You're trained to shut the fuck up.
That's
You know
it.
what I mean?
I said that the other day too.
And conditioning. That's conditioning. Without a masculine energy telling you to shut the fuck up. Now you got women telling you shut the fuck up. And then
Right.
that's the good moms that get a little frustrated at times. We can
Right.
go
Right.
the 71% moms who would tell the kid, yo, shut your little bitch ass up, calling them bitches and this and this and this. And
Yeah, I know.
now you grow a boy that's used to thinking it's cool to play.
And it become normal to get abused with that type of like psychological abuse from females, and then we just told to put up with it. And if a guy want to get a life, he's going to go along with it usually because a lot of men are trained to only make women happy and not
That's it.
men happy.
That's it. That was the process right there. The process of keeping my mom's as comfortable as possible because she's doing everything she got to do to make sure I'm good. So,
Right,
and you got to do that. You got to do
right,
that. What boy
right,
going? His mom's like struggle. So you already in a backwards position. The problem come as you get older. You have to learn how to shake that. We in our generation, we
right,
can go outside, and outside is a bunch
right,
of dudes that's masculine because it ain't
right,
this big pack now. Remember, we never spoke about the big campaign on the left of the room, the monkey in the
right.
room, that campaign that trying to turn boys into little girls. Because now it wasn't none of that campaign back in the 90s. Remember, back in the 90s,
Yeah,
boys were gonna be boys. And that's what they
yeah.
said, story, and they stuck to it.
They
Now that
stuck
we're
to that.
2021, that's not their agenda now.
Nah, the
Now,
new
a
agenda is
boy gonna
it's
be a boy,
everything.
right? If a boy gonna be a boy in 2021, that's toxic masculinity because that's
Right.
not that boy being a boy don't go with what they want. So they have this
Nah.
agenda pushing to boys to stay silent, be obedient. On top of the fact you got guys in relationships now. Now you got the
Right.
media telling every female guys cheat, all guys cheat,
Oh
but
man, I can't.
we know we know in
Yeah.
our life all guys don't cheat. We got 80% of men here who
Right.
cry in private, who girls
Right.
sleep with them with another man and they know it, and they can't
Right.
do nothing about it but cry in public. I mean, in private. No man is
Well,
gonna run the
the feminist
oh,
party.
just slept with another man again. No man gonna do that because of the embarrassment.
Yeah, and that's why you don't see a lot of people come out and talk very vocally because of the stigma and the heaviness of our society not being honest or being realistic with it. And right now what we're having, masculinity is winning, even though it's a fight with feminists. Now, I don't know if you saw it today, but I'm gonna put it up on my Instagram. Maybe we can both put it on our YouTube. And I saw Tommy, has showed a video with Judge Joe Brown. They showed the commercials of China's army, they showed Russia's army, and then they showed America's commercial. And America's army commercial had Transformers in the army, and it was promoting it of the Transformers. And so I was just like, it looked so. It was like men and women and women and men in the army, and our army commercial only. But when you saw Russia, like they was, they had the mic running, what I'm saying, where, looking muscular. And when you saw China army, they had the death march. You know what I'm saying? They even got a masculine school. They're teaching for the boys to become more masculine because K-pop watered down, China. So they wanted to, step their game up with masculinity. So when I looked at that review, it showed me that we're in a crisis of masculine and future generations to come, because if you make people weak and you make the men weak of the nation, then you make the nation weak, And I really believe the agenda, the reason,
Name a community where the men are not judged. The communities thrive. The community's wealth is not judged on the men, how strong the men are. It's no community around that exists. Men put this joint together. Men
of
fought for
course.
that the women have today. Like Frederick Douglass is a man. The last time I checked.
Right. And you know what? What's funny about all that? When we look at D-Day and all these special events that ever took place in history, it was men that made some things accomplish to happen. Mm-hmm. So to say it's toxic will be retarded, because the last thing I know, it was men that was laying pipes and digging up holes for, railways and for systems to get built.
You know what else about even with our community, right? Like the Red Pill community, the good ones come up with and create ways to not so much badger and heckle the females. They come up with ways to challenge the females. The real good ones.
So you're like me.
It's not about beating the women up all day long, like, because they make the Red Pill community, some make the Red Pill community very sour now, because
people forget that, some of them are Midtown. So you gotta understand, Midtown people, you gotta see, I would be like, I don't know if you know anything about the Avengers. Me and you are like the Eternals. We're like a high celestial being.
Right.
It's the Red Pill celestial being, because I'm on both sides of the fence. I get it. But Midtown men be beating them up because they don't care anymore. That they hit the wall is there. They're like, we're tired and we had enough. We're tired of explaining. We give you so many chances. And then with Midtown men, they experienced the psychopath, the sociopath, and the narcissist women, where the laws in the country has made it where women always take advantage of the most goodest guy. So the Midtown men, when they hide up under the red pill, is a camouflage sometimes, because you won't know what Midtown is. It's a more Midtown movement, no more than is the red pill movement. Then actually the red pill movement was supposed to be awareness.
Right.
So what happened, a lot of them do go in. Now, don't get it twisted. I get it why they go in, but we do need that sometime on their fence, and then we have our fence. Now, on my page, you already noticed on my Instagram, I have a lot of women be on there supporting Red Pill. And when I talk to a lot of these women who support Red Pill in Midtown, know why they tell me? They said because they had dads in their life, no ADDH. Most of these chicks are stable because they live with their dad. They understood logic. They had big brothers that understood logic, and they seen women do their good brothers and uncles and daddy wrong, or they seen their mom be abusive woman. So the women on my page, they understand and comprehend it very well, not making no excuses for deception, because if you look at accountability in the community, it's never taken serious. Never taken serious. It's like we had a bonnet situation. It was idiots naturally going after some of the most coolest people were saying, hey guys, y'all shouldn't wear flip-flops and robes to the airport with bonnets. It's kind of it makes us look kind of
right.
You don't see no other group doing that. So, or
ever,
any group doing that, you know what I'm saying? What we
no,
promoting here? And then you
no
get men
other.
come out and wear bonds and talking about I'm supporting you.
Because you know what? We the first one that they dangle the stupidity over, and we sell it out so fast that they never get the dangle it shit in the other communities. Cause they attack us, they attack the poor. That's part of their plan, to get the poor people that got money to spend. That shit don't even
Yeah.
sound right.
Well, it's always an experiment.
I got money to spend. Like, so y'all gonna play on our intelligence. If you calling us poor, then obviously we shouldn't have money to spend. But this is how they look at us and they program us, and people
Well,
fall for this.
psychological warfare has always been the silent. I call it silent wars of psychological warfare, because you could be silent and affect areas. Just like I was telling my man Red Pill Rican, how the Bronx, they was letting lead water go in the Bronx compared to the other boroughs that had more of a money power thing, but they knew it. So a lady sued and looked into it. She got 89 million for it because it cost her kid a disability. See, because if we don't do research and question nothing, things just get passed over the poor, or that what we call the average person. Because nobody don't like to ask questions. And most people, when you push them to be critical thinking, or if you push them to be, you know what I'm saying, logic thinking them, they'll
Mm,
fight you for a lie. They'll defend you
mm,
for a lie. I don't
mm.
care. I don't care. I did a psychological study with children who are so religious with parents. So because I'm not religious, but I wanted to see how the parents took the perception. I said, well, you taught your child a lie right there. They're like, what? I'm like, so did you tell your child, is Jesus coming or Santa Claus is coming? Who are you giving credit for these toys and these gifts under this Christmas tree? They could never answer that. They didn't know how to answer that. I said, but you just told them somebody that's not real, and then you just showed them that a guy's coming down the chimney. Now, how do we explain that to a little kid in the hood, or he living in the shelter, and his life is all messed up and jacked up, and you're telling them some guy is going to bring them some toys? I say, look, y'all got to stop playing with that stuff. Just say that you worked hard and you made the toys. You give them some whole nother credit who ain't did nothing, but you did the work. And then you got it all mixed in with somebody that's supposed to love them, celebrating their birthday on the 25th. I said,
That's
do
a
you see how confusing that is to a kid? A
yo.
lot of
You
them didn't understand that concept.
teach them one or the other, and I'm glad you touched on that, man. It's silly out here. I'm telling you, these
Yeah,
people.
because we know rabbits don't lay eggs. But we
Yeah,
know that the really first of the year, the New Year's is really spring, because everything blossoms with trees, the air. We see the greenery of the pollen. You know what I'm saying? The Esther means Easter. So when we break down this stuff, I don't want to accept that right now. Accept what? That's the reason why we have problems in society. Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. When we look at the government, they laugh because they know that the people are like little 5-year-olds stuck in their brain. They're grown children. They don't take no accountability to know what's really going on. They just go back to sleep. You know what I mean?
you know,
It's like,
they only give us 10. They only give us 10 black celebrities to push it. They only give us 10 black celebrities in those higher spots, higher up spots, and they cycle a 10. If you notice, it'll be 10 celebrities that are a black celebrity that they'll push
yeah,
in front of our face, and they'll be the it. They'll be the it character for years and years and years.
yeah,
Only
yeah.
10 though.
They had Tyler Perry telling people to get shots.
Come on, come
I
on
look,
now.
and now the emails coming out that Dr. Frenchie, and I told everybody, really, the military used 4 different grades of the best gas and air masks to protect, and they have filters on them where it cleans the air. No fabric and no surgical mask is going to protect you from any biological virus, because viruses are airborne. You can't see them. But if you do research on everything with gas or air, if you fart, it goes through your underwear, your clothes, and your jeans. So what you think the COVID is going to do? So if it's real, what is a surgical mask is going to do to protect your ass?
That's a
Now the
fact.
emails coming out talking about the masks never work. Well, damn, it didn't take them. It didn't take a 10-year-old to figure that out. But that's how unlogical. And everybody right now in the last 4 days was losing their mind on them emails of Dr. Frenchie. Well, don't you think it's honest weird how Dr. Frenchie and Bill Gates was homies, and then all of a sudden now they're thrown under the bus, they're getting discarded? What was the real agenda? Because now you're making me question all the other agendas, because at first they was too praised for everything. Now they're bad guys. Now Bill Gates is a chauvinist. He's a sexist. He's a sex scandalous. You know, first he was the man. After y'all know he's messing with farms, food,
This is what
Monsanto.
they do. This is what they do. When you do
Right.
not go along with the go along, get along gang, and
All
they
day.
delusionals, they will
Right.
attack you. I just got attacked this weekend.
Oh, I know you did, bro. You should have told me, man. You know I got your back, bro.
Listen, I got attacked, man. I asked these people, why do you feel it's important for you? Women fought for years for respect and to be looked at as human beings, right?
Right,
Why
right.
71% women feel it's okay to go outside looking like a clown? I asked the question. Before I can get an answer for that question, I had to dodge attacks about my teeth. My shit looking good right now. You know what I mean?
Man, ain't nothing wrong with you, brother.
I
That's
know,
crazy.
but this is the shit that you go. You know the shit we endure. Shame,
Yeah.
insult, deflect. You know what I mean? All that we know about that already. So
Bro,
we
I'm gonna tell you something. It's a deflection, because when you hold people responsible, they don't want to deal with ignorance is bliss. So the more you stay ignorant, deaf, dumb, and blind, you can
yes,
always say, well,
yes,
I didn't know. I didn't know
I
that's how that worked. But
yes.
see, now you don't gotta tell them shit, because they're gonna face two things. Most of the ones that attack you, and somewhere in reality, in the New World Order, they're gonna get attacked regardless, because guess what? They ain't prepared. See, people like you and your chick, you gonna hit somebody like me and be like, yo, I'm out of the city, I'm out of the barrows, I done left town, I'm on the farm, I'm cool with red pill awareness. We done got missing like some UFO. And guess what? Your ass is now dealing with a situation because you didn't prepare, you didn't want to listen to no knowledge. When I brought you the knowledge, you didn't want to listen to, and now they put your ass in Rex 84. That's how it's gonna come down. And when it come down to it, it's gonna be people we cut the cancer off and we just let them hang themselves. Like, I'm at a time right now, bro. We're gonna move like ninjas. That's why I told the guy the other day, I said, yo, red pill awareness, I'm gonna get with all the other red pill squad. It's so many of us. Yo, do you understand? I just looked the other day, because I know you red pill along with me. Do you know that we are 250,000 strong, bro? Like, it's so many. We're hitting.
That's just the ones recorded. We
Recorded.
still barbershop. We still barbershop, but on YouTube we crazy. But we still barbershop. It's
Right.
gonna. It could
Hey,
be.
look, well, like I was telling my man, I'm gonna get it certified that we take our red pill awareness, and I'm gonna come see you personally, so we can make it a fraternity and put it into a fraternity terms, so we can be under the radar. Because what's gonna happen, since I'm connected with politicians, we can start changing laws and getting shit changed and being. You remember when you see G.I. Joe? And G.I. Joe, King Krober used to have his minions work and get laws changed with paperwork.
Yeah.
We don't have to be doing shit like that.
So I'm glad you said that. If you had to pick one policy, only one, because it's a few, but if you had to pick only one policy that need to change so that the people don't have to necessarily, because they lazy, do the change, what policy would that be?
Okay, so one policy would I change that would affect people in a good way? It would be how crimes is put, so you won't be getting jail time. So if you got crimes that you never hurt nobody, you should be left free and get in the work program. That would be one I would change. The second one I would change, I would cut down off the bullshit. If you ain't raped, you don't need to be killing kids. It's stupid.
Okay.
The third one I would change, you got free school. You should get 3 years of free school. The fourth one I would change, that if you have a certain a year, like if you know how like rich people don't have to pay taxes?
Yeah.
Like a certain amount of years you should have rent.
It's not that rich people don't have to pay taxes. They pay taxes somewhere else on that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not that they don't pay taxes.
Rent control. So that means like if you live in New York City and your rent is $3,500 or $5,500 a month, and you only a certain bracket, you should be able to pay $500 or $600 and still look good, because landlords eat good. Believe it or not, they fake. Like they don't. But it should be a time that we should have rent control. It is no way in this nation that everyone's becoming homeless and broken because they can't afford anything, and they don't have no control of their destiny because these little $10 and $15 jobs, even jobs with degrees, is not helping people. We should be trying to help people get better and do better. It is, do you understand? When you mess up structure of society, you're making a mental illness. It shouldn't be 40,000 babies get aborted every Friday and then go back. And then you do it 2 or 3 times and then understanding that you don't have psychological, mental development issues. And then not only that, we've been told to do that because, Margaret Sanger was the eugenics Nazi, supremacist who believed in that, worked with propaganda. And she said that she wanted to weed out the black and brown. She wanted to weed out groups. But that was the first stage. Because remember, anytime it's an experiment, it comes with the first group first. It's always the black and brown is the first group, is the first experiment. But we know that it hits everybody, white, black, Puerto Rican. But the game is to always take it to one community first. See how it's like the test subject, like the purge. But we understand that when you mess society up with poverty, working, you keep people from working where they don't have time with their kids. I like to change the daycare rules. I think the daycare rules are dumb too. I think that if you work and your kid, you got daycare more than rent. That doesn't make no sense in this country. How is daycare more than rent, yo? Who the hell came up with some shit like that?
Say something for me. Say something for me. I only got one. One key thing. I just got one thing that needs to absolutely happen. One.
What's that?
Change the landscape forever. If we have mandatory 6-month splits on child custody. I don't give a hell if you lay with them. If you lay down with him and you had the baby with him, I don't give a fuck. He got a mother. He got a grandmother. He got somebody that can vouch that baby can get some masculine energy or some different type of energy from just a feminine energy.
Right, because children need both parents, and it's mentally healthy wise. Well, when you see elephants in the jungle, if they're not with the dad, they with the mom or they with family, and it's always with the masculine or the feminine when you see elephants. So that's a major rule that needs to change.
Yeah, we do that because even in Jamaica and the islands, there's an uncle. There's somebody in the crib. If the dad's not in the crib, it's still somebody, an uncle, or you know what I mean, the mother's brother, somebody there to have that masculine for the child, and you know what I mean, and that's it. So if it's 6 months, the government don't need to be in your business because no check need to be cut because now for your 6 months, you got your shit. My 6 months, I got my shit. You know what I mean? It's an irrefutable
and you know what, brother? Let's manifest that and make that happen. I live at the spot where laws is put in legislation. And you live where we can go to United Nations and get that change globally and be like, look, dads are needed, families are needed.
Right.
And make things happen,
Shout out to Jessica. I'm coming to see you real soon, Jessica, because me, you, and Miss Pan, we gotta holler. We gotta talk. But I mean, people get it twisted because they see us, and they used to seeing some old fake image that they get put in front of them.
Well, yes. I'm here to help you today. We're just helping this group of society, but right now we're not sure what the city budget is going on right now. Well, hold on, let me tap dance right quick. Hey, any cornbread,
Let me hold my tie. Let me put my tie on. Hold on 1 second, guys. No, I mean that boy. Like, come on now. You never gonna know who have the winning shot for you because we don't even want to score the point. We want to pass.
Well, we got to watch politicians. You understand the new global science is not voting by them. You have to treat them like a prostitute. So you have to bid. If I want you, we have the Transformer community and we have the Care Bear community. The Rainbow Care Bear community. They put 12 million, 20 million up, and they buy their politicians. They're like, damn, I want this done. So when we got one of the great legends, he's still alive. Clarence, what's his name? He talks about black labor, white wealth, Empower Economics. We need that book right there need to be studied and applied to use in dealing with laws and dealing with rules and structure and society, period. Because that I can't even think of his name right now. He always on my mind all the time. But we need to use knowledge that's been given to us already, put in place, and apply that, and just go where we need to go after. Well, a lot of times, too many phony folks get in the position where they weed out the situations and they get in power, and then they get selfish and they don't even do what they're supposed to do. And I was just laughing at recently, everybody was going in on Obama's ass recently. How you gonna talk about life when you signed the bill for Blue Lives Matter, and here we got kids that was getting knocked off on your whole presidency, and now you're saying something about domestic terrorists when you didn't do nothing, when you had everybody there. You and your wife was the most damn goofy presidents as lawyers. You're an international lawyer. You are a lawyer. You could change the law with paperwork. What you mean you can't get nothing done? You did nothing done because he was a coward. He sit there with the attorney executive, and they all could have had orders put in place. Just like right now, I was telling somebody, how $16 billion go to another community for Remy and Brazilian when Michelle Obama could have took the laws, and like my daughter said, she knew the laws of, she could have got the Korean catalog, the Chinese catalog, and we could own back our distributions of all products being distributed in our community. It goes to a whole nother community. This community makes $16 billion off of Remy and Brazilian, off of hair stores and hair salons. How does that happen? That's straight robbery, man. And anyone can say that we hate somebody. That's bullshit. Because you know how many families been eating good? All of us going to hair salons and them little hair stores, buying all the products, and they have a nerve talking about hate. Hey, you sell bleach soap and bleach lotion in them stores.
Men always been the biggest consumers of the women product. So they could get that out there. Get it. Everything in our society is geared towards the woman. They got
of course.
Every month is damn near something that I got to.
I want to change that too. I want to change it where men have shelters, because in our society, you know, the only time you can go to the shelter with a family is if you've been abused or it's domestic. But with family shelters now, our family can't stay together. Most shelters and money is put towards women and children.
Yeah.
And dogs. Not for men. Huh?
That's over here too. If a man was to go through the shelter, he'll have to go through the shelter as a single man, and that's that. And he might as well
not. That's not right, man. That's not right, because here, if your child is 11 and 12 and 13, if he's a male, he can't go with his mom to the shelter. So where he's supposed to go? See what I'm saying? So here, if you 11 and 12, you can't go to the shelter with your mama. So and all the times they allow people to be families is when it's something domestic. And I'm like, so you mean to tell me you gotta be on crack, you gotta be on drugs or some crazy dramatic for you to get a place to stay for safety? Who came up? Man, that was designed, engineered to destroy families, man. So I believe that we need more men, because if men have their stuff together and self-esteem with shelter or self-help groups in the shelter, they have somewhere to go. But I noticed that a lot of the men's shelter groups, they don't get no support. They don't get financially written. I only see none of these feminists coming out and say, hey, let me write a check, because men need to be helped in society too. And so we see, when you see them shelters, it be only women, children getting the most biggest donations. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. And for years, I used to always question that, because I remember for years, I used to volunteer to feed homeless people for like the last 8 years of my life. And I used to always wonder that every time I volunteered, I would only like go take money for bras and panties for women, or make them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and make, turkeys. But I noticed that it was only geared for women and children. And I used to always question to my mom. I said, well, Mom, where's men? Do men, are men homeless? Do men exist to be homeless? And my mom would say, well, they don't really have a lot of programs for men. They don't really have a lot of shelters for men. And I'd be like, but they're part of society too. Is that why we see guys be out homeless, drinking all night long in New York or Maryland or DC or anywhere in the country, where they just forget, they just say, forget it, F it, I'll just stay in the street? Because I don't see many programs for them. And the programs they have, it'd be AAA. Everybody that's homeless is not alcoholic. Everybody that's homeless is not a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's got homeless issues could have been that they couldn't afford a place. I mean, who in society, You got people go to school and get all these degrees with loans, now got debt on their hand, but can't get a job with the degree they got. So they forced to work a job to get paid where they fit in, they get in at. And it's crazy to say that certifications now are beating degrees. Well, and trades has always been the #1 stunner, but we got women talking about now, I don't like blue collar jobs. Well, did you know if you in New York City, to be a trash man is 6 figures. If you work,
There's women saying that. There's women saying that because I haven't heard. That was a new one right there.
Yeah. So piece of KD, Kevin Samuels had many women was saying they want to. And you go on some of the threads on Facebook, it's women talking about they believe that blue collar jobs is whack and it's dirty. Dirty jobs pay good money. Believe it or not, a guy who worked in the sewer hole plumbing in Maryland and Virginia, DC, if you're a plumber, the average plumber can make up to 7 figures to 6 figures to be a plumber. To be a welder in Maryland is $45 an hour.
Not to cut you off.
Women talking about they don't like that's dumb.
What kind of guy are they programmed to like then? If they don't like the blue collar guy, what kind of job do they that they want supposed to have?
Brother, you know what I wrote it off, bro? I didn't even say what they like. I just said, you know what? When I debate them, you got mental illness. You know what? You're a narcissist. So I use Dr.
These bitches is crazy, yo.
I know. So Dr. BAA, I'm gonna send you Dr. BA's video. He had the best video. He had a video talking about when you smart and you logical, feminist women or who believe in the manipulation will use mental games and say
they like that matriarch shit. They want the matriarch.
Yes, and you know what they'll say? Because we logical, they're gonna say that we are narcissists because we thinking right. Well, no, shit don't work when you're giving in a silver platter. That's why I was putting that up, all that information on my page on Instagram, showing you how these jokers was thinking like, oh, it's a turn on to me for a guy to chase me down with a gun. It's a turn on to me where he cuts me out every blue moon. If you don't cuss me out every blue moon, I think you're gay. If you don't bring me a gift and cash out me on the first date, I think you born. And I'm like, what? How is somebody supposed to just come out and give you $500? I don't even know you. If I'm not buying you and your son a lobster the first date, then I'm not achievable. So you see that programming is pushed so dumb. But it's women talking about they don't like blue collar job guys. And when you look at the Latin community, a lot of them got them blue collar jobs where they laying bricks, building houses, they learning trades, they're doing welding, doing skills. Now, when we see that, that's a skill because remember, if infrastructure ever get destroyed one day, you're gonna have to go back to blue collar reality, plumbing. You know what I'm saying? Heating and air conditioning.
That's not what they see. All they see is what the social media program them with. They see instant gratification from the rapper, from what the society promote. Society keep pushing this simp, dude. Society keeps saying, date the simp. Date the simp.
Yeah, I know. The simp. And simps are more, I'm gonna tell you, like you're gonna laugh. Simps are the best friend of a coon. Simps and coons are hand in hand. They're like night and day, but they're best friends. And the reason why, you got some people, simps is in their genes, and you got some people, coonery is in their genes. So understanding when you see a simp and he ain't got out like if he's still been on the simp vibration and he ain't said, you know what, hell with the blue pill, I'm taking the red pill. I don't want to be dumb. I don't want to be a sucker. So when society put it like that, women love simps better because when you have a simp, you can orchestrate and control them more more. You can manipulate them more. You can break them down more. Because if he had no daddy in his life, some women have sized that up and say, you know what? I can work this in my favor. I can play with his head a little bit. It's gonna be hot girl summer. Because he ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Because most guys don't have an uncle or big brother giving them game and giving them, free game on information that can make them better men and make them stronger men. Most men don't know how to handle. Like when that little rapper just took his life, all them guys around him was some busters, yo. They was simps and beta males and they was coons because they allowed a young man who had a future ahead of him with talent.
Remember I said there's a go along, get along gang of them?
Yeah.
Those dudes call us weird. Those dudes Be like, why don't you shut the fuck up? Because I like annoying them too. I love annoying them
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Those are the ones that when we have these man conversations, they skin crawl and they just look at me like, yo, just shut up. You
yeah,
saying too much. Like, I'm helping you, boy.
yeah,
I'm helping you, fool. I'm saying what you
yeah,
need to
yeah.
be saying.
Well, a lot of them. I know you're gonna like laugh. A lot of them gonna have to get the pimp smack. That's what's gonna come down to it. Because some of them we just ain't gonna have time to keep talking. And they already got mommy issues and daddy issues where their mommy issues. They're ready to attack me and they'll fight me and you actually over the truth. That's the truth. So with them, it ain't gonna be no just talking to them about, hey, look, you out of line. So we got but I can show you what I can do. If I can't give you this, then I'm gonna pull out this belt and I'm gonna give you a fair one. Since I can't tell you that you're out of line, because see what's happening now. So many of them grow up in single mom homes that they feel like they can go anywhere, disrespect a manager, a job, a boss, a teacher. They can go somewhere. And I saw a guy the other day on World, so I was cracking up. He had spit at a guy about your age at a grocery store. Got in his face. The guy your age gave him a 3-piece. He didn't know what was coming. He just started tumbling down the aisle in the grocery store.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
said, you know how that could have been prevented? You don't walk up to no strange man and try to like wuss at him with some spit, and don't think that a man from the 80s babies is gonna give you a chin check you. And he didn't know what to do.
See, and that's
And everybody sit around and watched it. They were shocked. But it was just like, well, and then we had like, I think in your city today, in New York City, you sit on World Star, a Puerto Rican kid threw a canned good at an elderly guy on the train for no reason. Shit like that, man.
that's the
So
feminine. That's the troublemaking energy that these guys seen
yes.
from their moms. When their
So the
moms say,
old man, 65 years old, smacked the little boy in his bodega in your city because he was like, I'm 65 years old. I'm asleep. Why did you throw a can at me on the C train? I didn't do nothing to you, young man. I know my friend, we in it. He was like, I don't want to hear that. I'm old and I just got off from work. Why did you hit me?
and that's because these moms be faking moves too, man. These moms, oh, my little Pookie ain't do nothing. My little Pookie ain't do nothing. My little
Yeah,
Pookie can't do nothing wrong. My
always
little
a
Pookie,
victim.
he get his whole face blown off. Keep that same energy, yo, because the shit
Energy.
it be mind boggling to me. Like,
You'll never know who you'll cross.
the moms be
Yeah, well,
scared of.
you're right what you're saying that because when I dealt with people dealing with certain universities, they would bring that to the universities and catch one. And I say, see, you can get that with mom, but you're not going to be able to get away with that with people in the street in the real world. See, this is why we got grown men today that you almost sometimes think you got to go upside their head because they're operating off of stuff that their mom taught them when they was a teenager or they was a kid.
You gotta remember too, their moms was from the era of don't say nothing to my child, that's my motherfucking child. You know what I mean? And that a lot of dudes. Cause we were from the era where somebody could whip our ass. If they knew our
Right,
moms, they could whip our ass. So that's why we got respect. That's why we say good morning,
right,
hello, don't
right,
ice each other. We can say what's
right.
good, my, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
these
I
dudes,
know. I was from that
they have
era.
they have free range. They got free range to disrespect anybody. They ain't got no respect for their mother. They ain't got no respect for they don't know their dad. And this
Right.
is why I play with the little one. It's a little age range that I don't even hang around. I don't even kids who be around.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
nothing. Think
yeah.
they future. They look like Future, act like Tyler Perry, and you can't tell them nothing. So,
I
I mean,
know. Look. You know that little boy that Cam Newton was nice to when he carried him on his own game. I would have told the little boy, I say, look, I got something for you then. Where your daddy at? Go and pack your stuff and go.
yeah,
You ain't got
and
to come to my football camp.
right, right. That is
I would have
it's
ended it. He was
change.
nice. You understand? Cam Newton broke down barriers, and you gonna get up there talking about you ain't got no money though. You ain't doing nothing though. You on his camp on his time. He looking out for you, and you gonna disrespect a guy that's a multi-mega millionaire that's been a
Because
game changer in
you know
football
why?
as a
You know why?
quarterback.
His programming about Cam Newton wasn't about the good stuff. Because remember, they already wanted to tear Cam Newton down in society.
Of course,
They didn't want to pay him Mike Vick money. So they
right?
already smeared his in an image. So when you
I
smear
know.
a black man image to a bunch of black guys, young dudes, they look at him like, oh, we don't like him. Remember, this go back to the
They did
if
that
they
with the
don't
yogurt commercial. Remember the yogurt when the lady said, "Well, how do you routes?" And when they took the route thing as sexual abuse, and he got fired from the Carolina Panthers by questioning the lady. Well, I didn't know you knew about routes. Remember? Yeah. People forget about that. And
but a black man opening his mouth. And this is why this go back, this tie into what we're saying. This is why the simps are the simps.
of
Because
course,
at the point, these black men was like, shit, if I open my mouth, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Because you got a lot of guys that want to say what we say, but they'll lose. They work for somebody,
man,
which
they alert that cancel culture will come at them. I'm gonna send you a video that Alex Jones put out. I'm gonna inbox it to you on Instagram. You gonna be like, yo, where did you get this at? It's about the Ancha Mama. The Ancha Mama was the controller on the plantation, but guess what? The Ancha Mama was programmed to keep white men and black men in control. People don't know that history. People thought it was only just the black guys. It was white guys too. But the Ancha Mama actually was manipulating, pulling the strings, and making all men to be simps and beta males. Then they was doing that. Then you'd be like, damn, that's crazy. And the way he break it down,
I can believe it. We always knew that it was black folks. It was black folks in a higher position in life that took
right,
low position black folks to them boats and started
right,
this slave. We know that. Just like what
right.
go on, carry on the cycle. Life just a cycle. Life just
Cycle.
a,
That's all it is.
I mean, the same thing that go on now. A backbiting community that we have.
Well, social engineering.
The minute one crab get a little bit of light, hey, go the whole community ready to tear that man down.
And
Because
you understand,
they don't like
social engineering has got us all tricked. When we look at how the New World Order plays out or social programming, they use religion to make everybody fight. They use race to make everybody fight. They start racial conflict with different groups, white, black, Chinese, Puerto Rican. They take different graphics of if you're poor or rich. But the rich is always sitting back playing the strings like the fiddle, seeing what people would do. You know? It's a social engineering. I over the time when you start thinking about it, I call it the three stools: religion, race, politics, because they use that the most to instill fear in people.
Yeah.
You know, and the control. Now what we're dealing with now that we're starting to see, the new fear is going to be biological science, like viruses and flus, because Bill Gates already said there's going to be more viruses to come. So whatever they got cooked up, like we seen all these locusts. I don't know if you got the cicadas up there, but the cicadas are real aggressive this year.
Oh yeah,
and
the
I
big
told
they I seen them. They like that big now.
Usually when they come out every 17 years, they come out, they have babies, they make a lot of noise, that's it. This year they're coming out where they're aggressive, running in your car, running into you, hitting you. And I understand they can't see that well, but I've never seen cicadas on that level. I'm gonna tell you, man, it's something that they're doing with science, messing with this planet, or messing with their little weather weapons.
We always got something. West Nile. We always got something. We always something.
So Ebola. It's always something. So I'm seeing this year how what plays out and what they're going to do, because we're at a time that we have to pay attention to social engineering. Social engineering is getting people to be slow, docile, and not wake up. We just saw recently when they was using the trying to make two communities fight. You know what I'm saying? Putting beasts, because what's the only tool that you can use? If you can make race conflict, then you can get more people feeding into more emotional conflict. Even though we got racist stuff that exists, they promote it more higher because they know it's a form of controlling people and getting people distracted from bigger pictures.
Because that's how you teach people how to divide the room. And when you start teaching people how to divide the room, that causes a lot of confusion now. And then once people confused, while they're confused and they're fighting, then the underlying story get to slip underneath the radar and get fixed up. It's quite Nazis. It's the way the Nazis did it.
Oh
it's
yeah, yeah. You know, they engineered it very well. So we see Coliseums, it puts you back to sleep. That's the one thing I was afraid about with everything opening back up with COVID. People miss sports so much and hanging out where anything fun was just going to put the shutters over their eyes, and they'll just go right back to sleep like nothing ever happened. And that's the thing about when Biden came in. I feared that that was going to be the biggest thing that he would do is just rock them baby like to sleep. He'll use that
yeah.
Obama smile. Because
Now
see,
he
Donald Trump did two
rock
things that I liked it. He made people open their eyes with the shutters. So when he talked crap, he was wild and aggressive. He made you see how things really are and how people really thought in politics. It
Trump.
wasn't
Trump was the man to me because
yeah,
the people hated him, and anytime the
right.
people hate something, it's a real good reason, and it's a
Because he
real reason.
couldn't be bought.
I learned that anytime somebody desperately telling you to hate this person, people just because they didn't like him didn't even know what the fuck he was trying to do, and that's sad. That's dividing the room because you don't
Right.
like some their information, which may be very valuable, is no good. But then the
Yeah.
person you like don't have to have a lick of knowledge, but because you like him, you follow him, you worship him, you praise him, you make him rich, and get nothing in return.
And you brainwashed by most people use deception. You know what I'm saying? They use the art of war. You gotta understand that they can say, well, I don't want this person to get this much information because they could change their life of thinking where if I lose control, then I have no power.
Back.
So a lot of times, this is why it's important where they want people to stay ignorant and they use the programming like, your programming or your television tell a lie because it works, you know?
Yeah.
It's just one of them
Yeah.
things. I know we ain't gonna talk about so long, but
But
I'm
now
glad that we
one more thing that I know Biden didn't explain to the folks that voted for him. Biden is about to let 11 million illegals come through and get some jobs. So beta males, y'all better stop being lazy. Y'all better get your ass to some jobs.
mhm.
Y'all better
Yup.
find purpose.
Atlanta, Texas is first.
Y'all better find some jobs. Y'all better find some purpose. Y'all better stop chasing women. Cause 11 million, 11 million of our brothers
Yeah.
from other foreign countries will be coming, taking your jobs.
And
You know what
getting
I mean?
paid and
Right.
getting
That's
paid the position and everything. So in
right.
Maryland, in Maryland and other states, they get house vouchers and they taking jobs already as we speak. So beta males stop playing, stop worshiping chicks, giving them their cash out money or giving
Yeah.
money on OnlyFans because he about to throw off the country economics because what happens when you let the floodgate open, you mess with the budget or everything. It's already enough people in most of these places, but to bring new people in, the Democrat priority. Because people say, why did you bring all these legal immigrants in? Well, because the Democrats need a new vote, a new face. White and black people gotten smart that they know now they don't appreciate and respect Democrats. They tired of the left and the right. They tired of Democrat and Republican because we know that all of them been shit to us and they've been treating us like shit. And we tired of being their fucking little kid. So
Guinea
they
pig.
need some new
Oh,
faces to lie to.
they guinea pig. That's all.
Yeah. So if you think a third world country, if you bring an immigrant in from anywhere around the world, he gonna come in and be like, I'm Democrat, I'm Democrat, I'm Democrat. Of course, because they gave him a job, free school, education, and money and a trade. They don't need us, the average American anymore. The average American is a go-getter. We in the end game. We tired of this shit. We tired of being punks and cowards to the system. And we saying fuck all this bullshit because we know it's a damn lie. And so the social war, they want to start, they even gonna do two things. They're gonna start a war with China or another country of the Iran situation, send some shit through, created it on Islam, blame it on the terrorists, come up with some bullshit and then knock down some numbers, and then we understand before I go, it's the Georgia Stones tell you that they eliminate 500 million off the planet. 500,000 in America, I believe, is really what they want to go after because America, we're the only ones in this country in the world that actually that's about that life, and we ain't scared to ride or die when it comes to truth because we've been dealing with so much heavy stuff. So at the end of the day, teaming up and dreaming up is important. And I'll make sure I get with you later on another time, help you get your
Definitely,
CCW, you
definitely.
and your lady.
Battery getting low. My battery getting low. This been
Okay.
one. This been one of the One of the real ones, man. I appreciate you, man. And I see you.
Anytime, bro. Oh, you know, man, look, we're gonna build and chop it up. I'm gonna let you go in the segment. We're gonna do it another time. Let's do it once a week or when you want to. I got a 2,000 book library I want you to see one day, but we'll talk and chop it up.
I bet, man. I
All
appreciate you,
right,
man.
man. Peace,
Thank you.
bro.
All right, bro.
Bro, peace.